I'm going to talk now briefly on several things. Their crisis and our opportunity. Because let's face it, right? There is a crisis in this country at this point in time. I'm going to list a few things. Immigration. We've spoke about that for years. It's a problem. Terrorist attacks. We've been told by David Cameron that we will be the victims of a terrorist attack very soon. We've known that for years. Decline in economy. They try and tell us the economy is quite good. We know it's not. It's lies. They're just making all of these little smoke and mirrors. Public services are shot in certain places. You can't get into a hospital because there are other people there that shouldn't be there in the first place. We've got old folk uncared for. I mentioned a little bit about it there. We've got food banks. We've got unemployment. We've got Islamisation. We've got foreign aid. The amount of money spent every year on foreign aid. £3.5 billion. £3.5 billion a year. And we see nothing for it. We've got EU membership, about £55 million a day. Money down the drain. We've got the NHS in crisis. I was speaking to Paul Borg. Where are you, Paul? Yeah, there he is. And he was saying, well, the NHS might not have as many problems if it wasn't dealing with the freeloaders who shouldn't be here in the first place. Because then we wouldn't need to worry about them. We wouldn't need them to be so staffed because we wouldn't have that many patients. So we've got no industry left. There's no steelworks anymore. On the same day they closed the steelworks up in the northeast, they gave a contract to the Chinese. It's bizarre. It's absolute madness. Our government are not looking after us. We've got children homeless. In Scotland this Christmas, 5,000 children will wake up on Christmas morning not in their own home, but homeless. That is absolutely abhorrent, and it is disgusting to think that in 2015 our government is subjecting us to this nonsense. This is not what people fought and died for. So these are the problems. How are we going to fix them? Well, I'm going to spend a little bit of time and I'm going to take three of our main policies. And I'm just going to read a little bit about them. I'm going to tell you how we can fix things, because that's what we're about. We're not about complaining anymore. You can moan into your pint all night long. What you have to do is you have to get a positive mental attitude and an approach to winning. That's what we've got to have. And without that, we're going nowhere. So we've got to adopt that. So we need change, and that's why people need us. People need us. There's nobody else. Who else can they rely on to do what we're doing? The others have all tried and they failed miserably. Right then, so how do we differ? So, in the light of the recent attacks in Paris, I'm going to concentrate on three of our policies. Immigration, Islamisation, and British culture. Three things. Three things in the light of what's happened and due to the fact that we've been told that this is going to happen on our soil. Immigration. Immigration is the greatest threat to our precious and unique British identity. The pressure on housing and on public services such as schools, hospitals, transport networks, welfare and social security is far too great. Britain is full and it's time to shut the door. Yeah. To solve the immigration problem, this is what we're going to do. We're going to leave the EU and take back control of our borders. We are going to deport bogus asylum seekers and foreign criminals immediately. No questions. Out. We're going to crack down on illegal immigration. We're going to offer no amnesty for illegal immigrants, and we're going to crack down on sham marriages. So there's a few things that we're going to do about immigration. So from immigration, we have the next point, don't we? Islamisation. So this is what we're going to talk about here. The BNP is totally opposed to the current regime's immigration policy, which, if left unchecked, will see Britain and most of Europe colonised by Islam within a few decades. Simple. The BNP recognises that Islam, by its very nature, is incompatible with a modern secular Western democracy. The BNP will protect our identity and heritage because they are the cornerstone of our culture and freedom. So how are we going to solve that problem of Islamisation? Because often other times we get told by politicians that things are very difficult. Here's how we're going to solve that. Very simple, a few points. We're going to deny permission for any more mosques and minarets. Simple. We're going to ban the hijab and the burqa. Simple. We're going to closely monitor teaching practices and curriculums in schools. We're going to negotiate peace treaties with Muslim countries. We're going to withdraw British troops from Muslim lands, and we're going to refrain from interfering in the internal affairs of Islamic nations. It's got nothing to do with us. I would argue that we have enough on our plate sorting out our own mess in this country without poking our nose into others. Simple. Right then, British culture. We're all British, here we are. The BNP will protect our unique and precious British identity from immigration. Multiculturalism, political correctness, health and safety killjoys and globalisation. So how are we going to do that? Well, here we go. 4 points. We're going to reassert that British law comes before any other in Britain. No Sharia courts. We're going to make St George's Day a public holiday. Why not? We're going to uphold our hard-won right to free speech. People died for that, and we're going to uphold that. And as it is such a failure, we are going to end public funding of organisations advocating multiculturalism. So we're not career politicians, are we? Who would want to be a career politician? Look at them. No, seriously, they are pathetic. They've been born and bred into those positions, groomed and moved into there, knowing damn fine that they're going to be fine and everyone's going to be dandy, that they're going to be the farmers, that they're going to herd us sheep around. So we're not professionals. We're not honed like professionals. We're not taught to be like professionals and speak like professionals. We don't go to common purpose training and learn how to manipulate people. We are the people. That is who we are. We are not different to the people. I am not, and I'm pleased to announce, I am not a professional politician. I don't want to be, because they are ridiculous and they've made a mess of our country. So we need to think about our future direction. Tina's alluded to it earlier. We've heard things from Charlie. Excellent presentation earlier. And we've got the tools. We can do it. We just need to change a little bit. So we need to get out there. We need to take advantage of situations. They'll say that, oh, you're just taking advantage of that and that's a bad thing. No, it's not. The Paris attacks happened on Friday. Who was out on Saturday with his team with the Islamic time bomb leaflets? Mike Jones. Give him a round of applause. So it's all about being prepared. We've got to have armour in our armoury. If he didn't have those Islamic time bomb leaflets, he wouldn't be able to go out with them. But he's had them there and they were ready. And by God, I would suggest if you get a few of them in stock, because you're going to need them. And we're not taking advantage of other people's misery. We're pointing out what we've pointed out for decades, that it's not compatible with our way of life, and we don't want it. So back to basics. Tina stole some of my speech when she mentioned about Marine Le Pen. She didn't know that I was going to mention Marine Le Pen, and I didn't know that she was going to mention Marine Le Pen. But Marine Le Pen is an inspiration to us. She's buried deep, or well, she hasn't, but her councillors have, and she's led them. They've buried themselves deep in their communities, and they've worked hard for years and years and years. And now it's paying off. It's paying off because they're doing exceptionally well in the polls. Very well indeed. So we've got some direction, or hopefully we will have by the end of this weekend. You'll have some direction. We need willpower to do it. By coming here, I hope you feel empowered. And I hope you go away and that you use that empowerment to motivate yourself to get out there and do more. and to encourage others to do more and to delegate to others to do more. Don't expect to try and do it all by yourself. You will wear yourself out. So then, we are right. Simple, right? We are right and we have the truth on our side. The others have nothing. They tell lie after lie after lie. And that is why I don't want to be a professional politician like them. I want to tell the truth and I want to continue telling the truth. And I would like to think that you will also join with me and tell the truth to the people out there who have been lied to for decades. Now, as we spend this precious time together, which it is, because you don't normally get to be with special people like you. I don't get to be with special people like you. I get to move around the country and speak to different people on various different issues. But together here, we've got this symbiosis, this symbiotic relationship, which is going to be mutually beneficial for all of us. We can all take something away. And with that in mind, and with the way that we're conducting this weekend and how we're evolving, I'm also going to leave you with a quote. My quote is from The Origin of the Species by Charles Darwin. And it goes like this. It is not the most intellectual of the species that survives. It is not the strongest that survives, but the species that survives is the one that is able best to adapt and adjust to the changing environment in which it finds itself. And we need to adapt and we need to change. We don't need to be the most intelligent. We don't need to be the strongest. If we adapt and we change, we will survive. And we will not just survive, but we will conquer. Because there is no other person but yourself to go out there. Get stuck in, and I'll leave you with this. Our British future depends on us. Thank you.